In this YouTube video, I'm going to show you why New Year's resolutions are a complete waste of time and why you need to start a New Year's revolution so you can go to a place that you've not gone before. Check out the video right now. So why exactly do New Year's resolutions end in failure? Well, it's pretty obvious, really. It's because human beings are incredibly predictable. So if you've ever set a New Year's resolution before, chances are you'll do what you did when you set that resolution in the past. And history tends to repeat itself until we actually become the change that we're looking for, until we kind of let go of the ideas of who we think we actually are. Now, I don't know how many of our YouTube videos you've watched, but you'll definitely see there are some themes in what we say. Because what we say is based on the future that we want to create. Look, I am a coach, and the role of a coach is to take someone from where they are to where they want to be. That can often be the magic of knowing where it is that you want to be. And this is one of the reasons I hold a magic wand in every single one of my YouTube videos, because the magic is knowing where you want to go and then being able to vocalize it, being able to say it. But what happens with New Year's resolutions is people might say what they want, but do they actually know the person in the future that is going to have the result they're looking for? Now, this might seem a little bit strange to some people, but I will explain a little bit more in a moment. So a New Year's resolution, I put 50-50 here for a reason, because the word resolution means that you're actually going up against something. And what most of us are going up against is opposition to the thing that we want to do. Where is that opposition? Well, a lot of the opposition is in our head, because when we decide to do something different, there will be a part of your brain that will go, you don't exercise, you don't meditate, you don't stay up and do the work that you need to do. So we tend to defend who we think we are. But who are you becoming? This is where it starts to get really interesting. And I think most people are just choosing to become who they are. So who will you be next year? Well, chances are next year you'll be very similar to who you are right now. And maybe you'll get to a point where you look back and you go, you know what, I actually have some regrets. Now, the best time to plant a tree, so they say, was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. And what I would say is you don't need a resolution, you need a revolution, because a revolution is an overthrowing. It's the overthrowing of something that doesn't work. Do you not think that now is the time to wake up like never before and look at the world with a fresh pair of eyes? Because that is when people really start to change. And what drives most resolutions is pain. It's the pain of, oh, I just had enough of doing this, and I just want to get out of this. I'm uncomfortable. I'm fed up with this. And that drives people to change, but then they put pressure on themselves to do it. And that's why by the 17th of January, most years' New Year's resolutions have disappeared. And in fact, the word January supposedly comes from a Greek god that had two heads, Janus, one head that was looking forwards and one head that was looking backwards. Where are you looking? Where is your attention? Because if you're driven by pain and you're driven by pressure, this is really about fear. It's a fear that is driving you to change. And once you get out of pain, what do you think happens? What do you think happens? What drives most behavior for most people most of the time is pain and discomfort. Once we get out of pain and discomfort, what do you think happens? Well, what we've chosen to do to alleviate the pain, it doesn't completely alleviate the pain. So whether it's whatever it is, alcohol, food, whatever it is, smoking, watching TV for an endless period of time, it might alleviate the pain, but most people go back to what they know unless they decide to create a compelling future. And I'm not saying this applies to everybody, but when you want to create a compelling future, then you can have love for what you're doing. I actually wrote a book called Inspirators, which was all about people who are inspired by what is in front of them. Imagine waking up every single day inspired to take the action that you know you need to take. And the reason you're inspired about it is because you actually identify with the person who has achieved the result that you're looking for. And this is where it starts to get really interesting. So My 365 for us is about my intentions now delivered. Getting you to deliver on your intentions because, are you where you want to be? Why do people set New Year's resolutions? Because they're not where they want to be. And where do you want to be? Where do you want to be with the big three? With your health, your relationships, your wealth, and your work? Where do you want to be with all of these? These all work, together. Ideally, you want to be improving in all of these areas, filling in the gaps, right? The only way that's going to happen is now delivering on your intentions. My intentions now delivered. This is where we go from a resolution. This is the revolution that is needed. And it all boils down to, who are you choosing to become? Does this make sense? This morning I was talking to a guy who used to play rugby for South Africa, Coach G, and one of his things that he says is, get a touch. Fantastic guy, played rugby at the highest level, and he'd been playing for a number of years. He had a few poor performances, didn't play very well, and then people wrote him off. People were writing about him. He should retire, he should give up, he's embarrassing rugby. But that lit a fire in him. And yes, there was pain and discomfort, but he became inspired about not stopping there and inspired about a future where there were children who were inspired by his steps, by his action, by his decisions. And then he ended up playing some of the best rugby that he's ever played, playing for his country again in the World Cup. And it all boils down to decisions. And I would really encourage you to think about the decisions that you are making and where those decisions are taking you, because chances are they might be taking you to a place that you've been before. And do you boldly want to go to a place that you've not gone before? That's what they say in Star Trek, if you've ever watched it. Is it not time for you to be inspired and to become the person that you want to be? This is what Maslow talked about. The forefather of popular modern psychology said, what man can be, he must be. Who must you become? And if we can help you in any way, shape or form with this, we will, because we are obsessed. This channel is all about helping people fill in the gaps between where they are. So they've got goals, they've got the right attitude, and they're prepared to take different pathways to get the results they want. A great life, it doesn't happen by chance, it happens by design. Now, in the comments below, let us know, what is the New Year's revolution that you're after? Regardless of whatever time of year that you're watching this, what is the revolution that you want to bring into your world? Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate you, and have a happy, beautiful day.